really, in the beginning, diabetes can be controlled by yourself, and you have to train and teach people to do that. And when that fails only, and you will find 40% of the diabetics can be controlled with very, very good counseling, watching of the DVD by Professor Hegde on yoga and wellness. I think 40%, that motivation and sustained thing is very important. So Shushruta, who said 3,000 years ago, one of youth onset, where the muscles simply melt. It's a very classic way of saying that you will go into ketosis, ketoacidosis, beta hydroxy appears and ketone appears, and fat and muscle. The other one is injudicious diet and sedentary habit. That is the adult diabetes. So we have got these two types of diabetes which was not described today, which was described 3,000 years ago. We say modern diabetes, the Greek philosopher Cappadocian has said that, but it's not true. We knew it before. Next slide, please. So we have published a lot of things that I told you about, but I want to recognize one person who helped us, late Dr. P.V. Asha Bhai and others. Chalamaripan is here, I think. They all did yeoman work in juvenile diabetes epidemiology, which we were pioneers. And you find most of the articles in the papers, in the medical journals, don't quote our articles because ours shows low incidence. They all want high incidence. Everybody wants high incidence. They don't want low incidence. When you tell the truth, nobody wants it. Next slide, please. So my dream for children started in '82. Before that, then this was in Tokyo, Sendai, in Japan. I presented this paper where I categorically told the world star-studded epidemiologists in type 1 diabetes that in India, in Indonesia, in Japan, and some other oriental countries, we have 20 times less juvenile diabetes than in the Western world. So whatever research that has to be done for juvenile diabetes amelioration must be done in our country, in the Orient. This was, I think, message I gave at that time. Next slide, please. So modern research has got many gadgets. As you will see, yesterday's paper said we have got pump. We have got a pump. We have got an open loop. We have got a closed loop. But when you give injection, you get at the far end, you can see puckering, you can see lipohypertrophy here below. All these occur when you take insulin. Imagine lifetime. A 7-year-old boy takes lifetime of insulin. How his leg will be, how his thigh will be. No absorption will take place. Next, please. So this is what it is. 80% of the people who come to you with blood sugar is not because their children, their insulin dose is insufficient. They tell you, 350 irukku, 5 unit kuda potuko. This is what we tell on the phone. But that's wrong. Because it's not being absorbed properly. So we have to call them, we have to teach them. It was an enormous process. We did that. We did that with some success. Next slide, please. And then we created an electronic medical record along with Venkatesh is here. This was way back, 10, 12 years ago. So we said we will track them, we will keep the record continuously to see how they are faring. Next slide, please. Then I had this dream that we should create a center with this record where anytime they phone, we can see the record, know what they are doing, where the fault lies. All this can be made use of only with the proper data documentation initially, and all the follow-ups are documented. Even telephonic follow-up should be recorded. These are all not done anywhere. So when that is done and we can retrieve it, we can get the correct advice to these children. Next slide, please. And then we also used the nice in 2009 Professor Hegde brought from Seattle a gadget called EM Pulse Solo from his friend Glenn Gordon, about which you will know more later. But we used it and we found the insulin absorption became better, 50% better, 60% better, and in 3 days the big bump that was there in the insulin injection site disappears. So we found that pulsed electromagnetic field energy was a wonderful thing for insulin. So if we can do it, and he has said this should not be commercial, this should, one man came from a very, very big firm called Oxpira, offered him millions of dollars for giving it as a patent. He said no way. And I must congratulate him, because now we are using it free for the children. If they come with this, we use it in our any time. So you see, it's very easy to understand, but these facts are not known to people, not disseminated. Next slide, please. This is just about the electronic record. Next. Electronic. So, my dream was to create this hospital. I presented this last year. Not last year, 2010, 4 years ago. These are the children Ramesh showed you. Next. One Yugoslav child, along with our child who was getting treatment. So I said, if we can get the union of the people who are doing research and the donors together for this cause, we can win this dream. I finished not really knowing what was going to come. What was going to come is what you are going to see now. What came was Chari, R.T. Chari came next day to my clinic and said, what will your dream cost? This was the question he frankly posed me. What will your dream cost? I had no clue. I thought, I think about 50 lakhs. He said, I will give you that 50 lakhs. I'm not working for the money, because he spent several crores on several projects. But for me, till then 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs was big amount. He said 50 lakhs. Then I said, I presented a project to Dr. Murali. He said yes. But then unfortunately he died, and next people came there. We started all over again trying to explain what we wanted. All this dream is very difficult. It took 15 minutes to discuss now. Nobody has the patience. And again we started, and then we wanted somebody else. He himself recommended Rajkumar, SSR Rajkumar. He gave exactly the same amount again. I don't want to keep on mentioning what it is. And lo and behold, and our architect said it will cost about 150. Naturally, always it exceeds and costs 250. But when architect says one thing, but when you implement a project, it costs more. And then we had Parsardi of Dollar Company. His family has been supporting for 3 generations. He said, I'll match the amount. He matched the amount and gave more. And the 3 really made me feel I can construct it, and we constructed it. And then I had my friend Hegde. We had to have some patience. They said, how will you earn money? I have no patience. So I said, well, shut up my practice and come here and take my patients. And from them we will do. He said, I'll bring my patients here. So with both of us, we really entered into an unwritten partnership. And it is today going well. At the end of 3 years. We have been able to generate income not only for ourselves, but also to the VHS, because that needs income to sustain it, and we are able to do that. And when I started this juvenile diabetes project, about which I am going to tell later, a breakthrough in the insulin-dependent diabetes using Mr. Rajan Iyer's dynamic acupuncture therapy, and I found some remarkable improvement in the insulin-dependent diabetes. I said at least a total of several crores to get it to the level that world will recognize. But I need some money to start giving totally free service for them, for the children. Then my friend R. Kisami, president of the Sabha associations and secretary of Naradagan Sabha, who was my classmate in school, he said, I have a friend who has been donating to you silently, and I will get him, he will give the money. I said, what money? He gave exactly the same amount others gave. You won't believe it. He just came and said, don't mention my name. I don't want to know. Mr. Purushottam Garu, who is here, Satyanarayana Charitable Trust, he came and gave. I have to mention it only today. I don't want to mention people who gave, because there are 100 other donors who have given to make this dream possible. 1,000 other people who have given. Nothing is small. Everything goes to the children. Not one penny. Every money is transacted and triple audited. Anyone can come at any time to my department, see the transparency of accounts. And the government of India has again repeatedly given 200% tax exemption for VHS. All this is because now it is managed by Professor Suresh, who is again another embodiment of such social service. So I want to recognize all of you. I just want to honor these patron donors, as we call them, Originally, it started with Dr. Sri Prakash of Greenway Shipping, who helped with the diabetes department in getting big foreign dignitaries here. Then Ramesh Chauhan, who gave a sizable donation in those days. Then R.T. Chari, Raj Kumar, in that order, Partha Sarthi and K.R. Purushottam. We'll honor them. I request Sugalji and Suresh, both of you should honor them, and then they have got work, and if they want to leave, they can leave. I keep up my word, and before 11:30 I said I leave them. Thank you. No, that is our the story so far. We have one more story coming a little later. Priya, read out the names.
Sri Prakash, Chairman, Greenway Shipping.
Any representative of Greenway
He's a patron
Shipping?
donor, Diabetes Department. Mr. Ramesh Chauhan, Chairman, Bisleri International, Mumbai. He is also a patron donor.
They both are patron donors of our diabetes department. Later, we had the tag coming out of
R.T. Chari,
Please.
Managing Director, TAG Corporation. Patron donor, TAG-VHS patron. Shri SSR Rajkumar. Shri SSR Rajkumar, Chairman, Managing Director, the Central Scientific Supplies Company Limited. Patron donor. Shri D. Partha Sarthi. Partha Sarthi and the Rajan family, who are sustaining patron donors of TAG-VHS. Anybody from the family, please? Shri K.R. Purushottam, Managing Trustee, the Satyanarayana Charitable Trust. I now call upon Dr. Deepa Krishnaswamy to introduce to us the TAG-VHS Diabetes Research Center Expo 2014. Over to Deepa.
Good morning. Before I start the introduction about the Expo, I just thought I'd mention a few humorous and poignant quotes on medicine, not to be taken very seriously. The first one is, nearly all men die of their medicines, not their diseases. This was told by Molière. The doctor of the future will give no medication, but will educate his patients in the care of human care, in diet, in cause and precaution of disease. This was told by Thomas Edison. I learned a long time ago that minor surgery is for others, not that is performed for you. This is by Bill Watson. More people live off cancer than die from it. This is by Dr. Deepak Chopra. It's easy to get 1,000 prescriptions, but hard to get one single remedy. This is an old Chinese proverb. A vigorous 5-mile walk will do more good for an unhappy but otherwise healthy adult than all the Medicare and psychology in the world. This was told by Paul Dudley White. Always laugh when you can. It is cheap medicine. Robert Trout. So, with that, I would say good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, including my very own Professor and Guru, Professor B.M. Hegde. I am privileged to give this talk in his presence, and I hope he will approve. I have been given the task to introduce to all of you present in this hall an introduction to the TAG-VHS DRC Expo 2014 to commemorate, celebrate, and disseminate information on what we have been able, on what clinical research, research we have been able to do in healing over the past 3 years of consulting with patients and studying their clinical progress and complications and results under various modalities: allopathy, Ayurvedic medicine, and the innovative pulsed electromagnetic energy medicine healing brought to India by Professor B.M. Hegde, originally introduced by Professor Glenn Gordon, brought to India and innovated and improvised by Professor B.M. Hegde to Mangalore and Chennai. And the more esoteric metaphysical energy therapy delivered through acupuncture points, which is being done at TAG by the eminent Dr. Rajan Iyer under the expert guidance of Professor C.V. Krishnaswamy, and is practiced at our center here. And this, over the last 3 years, the data of 19,443 patients, both outpatients and inpatients, the data about all their admission, from the admission to the discharge, has been registered and meticulously documented and followed up in a unique, first of its kind electronic medical record system from March 2007,